Alright, and we are live! Over there? Alright, nope. We do need to make some quick adjustments though. I seem to be falling out of my chair. Oh god, I swear to god, you do all the pre-setup. You go, okay, I like this, and this is where I want it, and this just the way it's at, and then you move like one thing, just one thing, chat, and then suddenly it's all thrown out of balance. Anyway. Hey there, heroes! My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero too, but I'm here to let you know that if I can do it, so can you. And today I am feeling significantly better than I was last week. Last week I was feeling kind of cranky. The stuff and things and stuff that just, you know, sometimes you just you work a little too hard, but that's okay. I've got water, and today's snack is seedless red grapes. I really like grapes. Grapes are fantastic. My only issue with grapes is that good grapes go bad really quickly. And even though I like grapes, I never eat them as fast as I should be or can. To ensure that the grapes are taken care of before they go bad. And also I had this thing where I bought them last Monday. Like I went out to the store after a stream, as I do. I went out, I bought grapes. I came home, and those grapes sat on the counter unwashed for like a week. And by the time that I was like, okay, today's the day. Today we're gonna wash some fucking grapes. So some of them had already began to decay and rot. Appropriate for the upcoming set, but not appropriate for the kitchen. So we had to do kind of a rush job to make sure all the grapes were taken care of before the rest of them could come to the same fate. Fortunately, the survivors are crisp and they are juicy. Okay. So, grape talk aside. Grape talk, everyone. Grape talk. All right. So today is the day before the final Bloomborough stream before Duskmourn. That is to say, Duskmourn comes out next Tuesday. Not tomorrow, but next Tuesday. And so I am currently in the middle of updating and tuning up some decks. I don't have any new decks to show off, but we are going to be revisiting some decks and just giving them the old spit and polish. Mostly it's going to be like, we'll check in on the Goblin deck, we'll check in on the Kalia deck, but I'm not really too concerned with either of these. Kalia does get some new tech with Duskmourn, but other than that, she's largely the same. Let's see. I've already tuned up Kiora. Kiora's fine. I've already done like any of the creature type synergies with zombies. I did check in on Brea. I haven't checked in on Flage, but like, I don't know. Flage is kind of I'm kind of done with Flage. Like I did the thing. I did exactly the thing that I wanted to do with Flage. And now I've kind of been like, yep, that was fun. Let's move on to the next thing. That's just kind of how these red-white commanders tend to go for me. I work on them until I feel like I've got them solved, and then that's it. I'm not really interested in refining the deck any further, because these decks tend to be fairly linear. They tend to be linear, and it's like, well, I don't know. Maybe I need to get better about that. Maybe I need to get better about playing some of these older gimmick decks, because I did really like the Vtuber deck. Playing with Chandra's mom, playing with PNLR. Like, this was a deck that I was really excited to build around and play, and it was a lot of fun, especially when Wilds of Eldraine came out and we got more adventures to really help her out. Like, it's a fun deck, but I have not touched this deck, and I don't really have any immediate urgency to upgrade her. Something I need to make sure. Actually, hold on. Should I? I feel like I should take some notes real quick. That is my art goal. Where do I put down my? Grab a small. Look, where'd you go? Actually had to like dig around things and stuff earlier because my wife and I were trying to find our files. That way we could actually get some of the glue and stuff off of her mouse. See, that's my sync. You know what? Good enough. So I'm just gonna be like making some quick notes for next week's stream as I go, because one of the things I want to do is talk about my goals for next season with the next State of Brawl update. I want to talk about some of the deck ideas that I'm just gonna have to like give up on. Some I'm gonna have to like take apart, retire. Because it's not just State of Brawl, it's also like personal blogging and stuff, right? Right. One of those is gonna be like making a renewed effort to actually learn how to play and utilize control. But main goals for the day: make sure that goblins are cool, make sure that Kali is cool. Turn up Rith a little bit. I'm a little more interested in keeping up with Rith. I want to give both the Gorilla Blinkbot deck a tune-up. Yeah, on the box. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by. And then also the Zamon and Dina. We've gone ahead and we've actually broken the game at this point. Like, we've gotten to the point where we've broken the game and we've drawn our entire deck off Zamon and Dina. I am now like, let's go ahead and just, you know, get this back to the point where she can compete, especially against the control decks. I've already made a couple switches with the lands. I've gone ahead and replaced like an elf with a bird of paradise. Maybe I go ahead and put another elf back in after I cut something else. Like, I could probably cut like an emergent sequence to get an elf out. But I want to play with the deck a little bit first. We're also going to take another look at Darrygaz, just to like make sure that he's all good. I was doing some tune-up with him already. We've gone ahead and crafted the Grief that some of these black decks are going to want. So finding a spot for Grief and Zamon and Dina combo is going to be nice. That's just an extra layer of protection. Oh, I think the Jundam plan is already pretty solid. Notably, Feather is like the only red-white deck that I have so far that I consistently come back to an update. It feels like the tech that comes out for her is very nice. And then next week we'll talk about some of the commanders I want to go through. Kozilek. Updating Kozilek. That I would enjoy being able to do that, but we're not going to have time to like work on Derevi. Alayla is currently on hold for Duskmourn. At some point, I want to get the No Rares Kalia deck set up, so maybe that's something I could do after Duskmourn. I also completely forgot that I was working on a No Rares Nadu list. So that's another thing that we can look forward to with Duskmourn. And just some other stuff. There's a lot of prep that actually goes into these Magic streams, surprisingly. I usually want to just like get to the games and get to the get to the stuff that you're probably all here for. This deck has not been updated since I got the original list off of Amy the Amazonian. When was the last update for this deck? Was it just Lord of the Rings? That would have been like a while ago. Want to say no? Okay, so like bare minimum Aftermath, I think. Oh, no, I did update this with Wilds of Eldraine. Okay, that's good. So then we would still have, like... Ugh. So, like, if we will be trying to update Nowhere's Atraxa, because I think the deck is, like, Pools of Nowhere. That would be so much update, though, because we would have Ixalan, we got Cons, Murders, Thunder Junction, and Bloomborough. That's a lot. That might be a little too much for one stream. Okay. But... yeah, I don't think there's, like, a lot of other press position to set up with. Some of these decks I am just going to have to, like, take apart, knowing that I'm not going to want to play Sauron, I'm not going to want to play Narset. It is what it is. The search for decks that speak to me continues. Wait, no, that's, that is Explorer. We'll start with something easy. We'll start with Scrungles. And we'll just hang out. Typically, if I can get, like, 2 or 3 satisfying wins with a deck, that's enough to convince me that we're good. Badric, Astral Archmage. Spooky. Winter Moon could be pretty good here. Depends on how many basics they're running. Oh, that's at least one that's not a basic. Alright, so we're gonna run Goblin Motivator. Then we can run out Ragavan, give Ragavan haste. Oh, that's not good. Alright, here's Ragavan. They can counter Ragavan. Not gonna counter Ragavan. They're just gonna shock Ragavan. Not gonna shock Ragavan. You get complete the circuit off of them. I'm really just waiting to see if they tap out. Ooh, that's a mana confluence. That means Moon's gonna get some really nice value here. Especially if they tap out for Vadric. Okay, yep. There's Mox Amber. Yep. It is now day and night. I'm gonna Bolt. Bolt, make them use their protection now. Yep. Alright, unfortunate. Control 2 or more lands, down the Bugbear is tapped. Well, I don't have any other way to, need creatures except for Squee. I could go ahead, play Squee. I like playing Squee. Because they don't have it. Get more treasure. Now, go ahead, cast Winter Moon. Now they get to untap their Mountain, and they have their Mox Amber. And also they have a Thundering Falls. Man, if that had been anything except Slip Out the Back, if that had just been like a counter spell, right? Ooh, Explosion's really good. X damage to any target. Target player draws X cards. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's see, it's currently dead. Wow, okay. Tezzeret's Gamble, so I actually have to use a Lava Coil to get rid of this. Strangle's not going to be enough unless I do it post-combat, which at that point, if they get around the Lava Coil, I'm happy trading Ragavan. Gold cast. Are they going to shoot the Ragavan? They could. That wouldn't be outside of the peripheral. Alright, so attempted Lava Coil. They have Mox Amber open, so they could still blue. They might even... No, they can't dual strike it. Is there a fork that they could use? There's a pitch fork. As additional cost, phase these creatures out. That's a good... Well... fuck? This is the first time I've actually seen a Vadric deck, like, so effectively utilize protection spells. Like, damn. March of the Swirling Mist. Now they can attempt to storm off. The Winter Moon is keeping off exactly the mana confluence. I was expecting them to have more non-basics. Alright, yep, there's a treasure cruise. I can't do nothing about this. Yep, and that's Urabrast, which I think is just actually worse. I think we're cooked. I don't see a scenario in which we can actually, like, get this going, but, you know. This is what thing. Yeah, we're just gonna fucking party. Like, we just throw a bunch of idiots at their face and try and get there. This is what you do: proliferate, dies, damage to any target. Alright, so we'll go ahead, we'll throw it over there. Go ahead and spectate. Embercleave would have been nice. Alright, go ahead, get rid of Vadric. They have an Urabrast, so they don't really care. The other side deals 3 damage to target opponent, each creature they control. Which means that we lose our entire board, but they're at like 6. Don't think... we can like squeeze back. If they transform into the Great Work, they do wipe our board, but then we can attack back for 3. We'll have 1 mana open, and the Bugbear attacks for 4. And then next turn, it's create 3 treasures. Oh, and they could just March of Swirling Mist. Yeah. That March of Swirling Mist got them so much time. Like, wow, March of Swirling Mist and flip out the back. Okay. So, what is this? This is just X target creatures. They can currently do it to 2 creatures. And they would do it before attack, so that way the Embercleave costs less. Trying to think if there's a way for us to like get around this. No, this is just like the 2. So they get rid of Squeeze, so that way there's no more tokens and like maybe a motivator. 2 tokens attack in, 4 for Embercleave. Goro is an option. They could also just have a counter spell for Embercleave. We could go ahead and do Den of the Bugbear, and then it's, yeah. I think we just go to attackers. Alright, so go to blockers. And then Embercleave is just gonna end up, let's see, that's 1, 2, that's 4? Yeah, that's 4 right now. So we always Embercleave. And then we'll do it on Squee, because we know that they're going to phase out Squee anyway. Or like, maybe not. Like, this actually doesn't accomplish anything, because Squee just dies on the first strike. It honestly doesn't do anything. I completely, like, fucked up. But, like, they don't know what card I have in my hands, so they're trying to play around Squee now. Maybe? Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll play Goro. Alright, so they have to go all in this turn, and they could. Like, this is what? 4 mana plus X? But also, if they do Urbrass, then Squee is already phased out. I think my board no longer does anything? Like, that's the 4 mana they need. Okay, they're gonna go with Vadric instead. That's a reasonable play. Alright, they're gonna spend a mana, try and grab something. Yeah, they're gonna try and go off now. They get to Fist of Flame. Fisher's Command, they can currently do that for X's 1? Yeah, they can currently do that for X's 1. Turn that into a draw with the Fist of Flame. Oh, yeah, yep. Okay, honestly, that's enough because that does increase Vadric's power. So they're digging. They've got 3 unknown cards. Vault of Awakening. Currently at what? Oh, they have to actively exile Urbrask in order to do that. Okay. They've got 1 mana left. They can cast any 3 mana spell with a single red pip. Alright, they're gonna go ahead and do it again. They got 1 they can fireball us. Oh, if they just like Grape Shot, right? Like, they could just be digging for Grape Shot. Yep, Casting Flames. Can they get there from that? Flip out the back, Tezzeret. A lot of these are blue. Yep. This is a non-deterministic finish. So we have to just, how do I like just control it? Like, okay, 4. Yep, that's Bergie. So they get all the red mana again. They're going for it. They just have to draw a Grape Shot. I don't think they have any way to filter into blue mana. The Vault Awakening means that they do get to just, like, go even deeper. Any Fireball also gets them there. Because Vadric is at 17 power, literally just the Draconic Entrance gets there. I didn't realize that. XO and Haste. Also, this has Trample and Haste, so like they can just swing at me. So like that's already game. Like if I just like seen that before, I would have scooped a lot sooner and saved us both time. Okay, GG's. Yeah, without the Fading Miss, we're able to win that game. But they included some really, really good tech for just holding off on that. And like they had to find the Casting Flames, right? Against Vorinclex, I think this hand works out fine. We got Spike Hazard to deal with the dork, Lava Coil to deal with a bigger dork, the Ring to keep us going. Alright, so we're gonna go tap lane, that's fine. We're gonna go here. Winter, that last matchup I wish Wintermoon could have gotten a little more value. Say la vie. ahead, play the Ranger. Choose a creature card in your hand, perpetually gains haste. There's only one. That is the Goblin Game Leader, so Game Leader now has haste, which is cool. Tribute to the World Tree. That's actually really bad for us because most of the creatures are just like not. Draw a card, otherwise put to counters on, so we don't get a chance to respond at least. If that's gonna be the case, I want to. I would love to get Squee going. But I just want the chance to respond in case for whatever reason they decide to go ahead and play a dork. That is not a dork. That is in fact Goreclaw. Alright, so they do get the draw card. We get to go ahead. Lava Coil, Goreclaw. Vorinclex comes down next turn. That sucks. And really, we're just trying to race. Because Vorinclex come down. Vorinclex blocks like pretty much everything. And we're just going to keep trying to throw idiots at the problem until it goes away. Like, we can go ahead and swing, get 4 more. I think that's probably what we do. Like, they're gonna block Squee. That's fine. We still get in 6 damage. Every little bit counts here. How many guys? Graveyard? 2? Go ahead and put Squee into Command Zone. Go ahead. We'll cast Ragavan 2. Electric Boogaloo. Pass the turn. And still Spike Field Hazard in case they try and play any of the dorks. That is not a dork. That is in fact very dangerous. I can go ahead and cast Cultivate. They're at 9 though. And we're gonna deck them for like at least 4 on the next turn. Like, they're on the back foot right now, and we need to keep just throwing idiots at them to keep the pressure on. Goblin Ringleader is going to be a great card for us. Put a stop on their end phase. Stop. Draw an extra card. Ooh, you're happy to see that. So we got Veteran. Okay, so we can go ahead, shoot the Landward Tribe, and then just like start going punchies. Gonna go ahead and draw some more cards though. Shared Animosity. That is actually really, really spicy. Yeah, we get the Shared Animosity down. It's what we got, 5, 6. This does not have haste. Yeah, let's get the Shared Animosity down. Then go punch. Now the tribe trades with the token. Vorinclex does not gonna eat the Ringleader, but we're gonna get a token. Yeah. Now we get Treasure. Treasure's pretty pog. We could even like Volley Veteran, get rid of Vorinclex. Kind of like that. Because now it's two guys. Yep. And what's green gonna do? Wrath us? Shared Animosity is just like a really, really strong finisher. Alright. Oh, Galta dropping all of the creatures. You know what? Okay. Huh. But none of them have haste. Alright, so how do we want to do this? Because that's 4. This makes a goblin. I think I just go Squee. Attack. and like they fucking die because nothing they have has lifelink. Like, they needed one more blocker at least. Yeah. This is how you win with goblins. You just literally throw idiots at their face. It really doesn't matter, like, how big they go if they're dead. And you really have to be fearless with this deck, too. You can't just be like, oh, but I'm gonna lose my goblins. No. No. Goblins are God's cannon fodder. I mean, like, drawing some extra cards with the One Ring helped a lot. But, like, you know. I'm actually surprisingly happy with the banner there. Like, I was playing the Mechanized Warfare before. And I might put the Mechanized Warfare in there again. We got a lot of Beelback Chiefs in the slots here. I might put it in there again because the Adaptive Automaton is not a goblin. It's like an Anthem of Goblins, so like that is relevant. Or I might end up cutting something else. But I'm actually really happy with how the banner and the other banner have worked out. The extra mana ends up mattering a lot more than just, you know, the little pains. And the only thing that we have that like actually deals damage. Let's see. It's like Goblin Bombardment, all of our shocks and stuff, which that is relevant, but it's not end all be all. So I think the Goblin deck is like already very well tuned. It's not a hard deck to tune up. On that note, let's go into something just a little bit here. Actually, let's go ahead and do Kalia. I want to do Kalia in part. I'm trying out Insatiable Avarice in place of the Brood Dragon. The Brood Dragon comes down and it exiles a card from your deck, which is pretty cool in terms of like just getting a free tutor. But unlike the Runescar Demon, which I would much rather have, because it goes into exile, it's actually worse. Normally, I would like to be able to grab like a Grizzlebrand or a Villas, you know, something that really helps me pull up ahead. I think Insatiable Avarice is actually just better for searching for something to put into your hand, so Kalia just has something to smack with and reload. That's usually what I would do with my tutors, is just reload. And the game plan with Kalia is like set in stone enough that I already know what kind of hand I'm trying to mulligan for, what I need to do in like specific matchups. Glarb, Calamity's Augur. Alright, so we have swords to start with. Reformer comes down. Thorn and here. That's a bad omen. What is this? Potentially lifelink, rummaging around. Not a particularly fast hand. Go ahead, lead off with we're going first. The Crossroads and the Passage come into play tapped. I think I'm gonna take the mulligan. We can do something better. Starting with Vexing Bauble. Cycle away Angel of Ruins. Grab a Plains. Grab a Godless Shrine. Rakdos to go into. Upgrade to slow them down. I like this hand a lot better. I don't think I've really seen Glarb do anything spectacular. Now, it's Sultai, so it's pretty much going to be a brilliant ultimatum deck. I've seen some try and be reanimator decks. I think that's probably where Glarb's niche is. Frog Wizard, nope. You can play lands and cast spells, mana value 4 greater from the top of your library. So like that's just screaming brilliant ultimate. I think Nashi's a lot better though. Like the Surveil is pretty good for filtering purposes, and And being a 2/4 Death Toucher does mean that Glarbus is a pretty good blocker. Unfortunately, is Glarb a guy? I'm gonna assume that Glarb is like some sort of haughty prince or whatever. Especially given that wide torso, whatever. Yeah. Glarb by himself doesn't really do anything unfair, unfortunately. Oh, they're getting the either they're thinking really hard about their mulligan, or they disconnected, or they're seeing Kalia and they're like, oh my god, not another fucking Kalia player. Which like, hey, you know what? If you got fucking oblivioned into the void by turn 3 Grizzlebrand, you might be a little upset by that too. Yeah, I just don't think Glarb does a whole lot. Like I said, so we'll lead off on Mountain, go Vexing Bobble, pass. And then I want to hold on to the Arena of Glory until we're ready to swing it with Kalia, so we'll lead off Iganjo, drop Angel Runes on their turn. Although I don't really expect them to make a play, considering that they took a while on the mulligan. Having the Vexing Bobble on turn 1 is actually just great. Because if their plan is to just turbo out Brilliant Ultimatum, or not Brilliant Ultimatum, oh, what was it? Hold on, I can look this up. You have the technology. Just Scryfall. Emergent Ultimatum. That's the one I keep saying Brilliant. Brilliant is the Esper one that has like exile the top 5 cards of your library from the game and an opponent factor fictions, and then you can play one of those piles. Emergent Ultimatum is the one that actually induces a lot of salt. And then, yeah, this person just did not want to play. Alright, so I've got like 2 more levels to get like this last booster pack. But I also need the funds. Like 3,400 gems to unlock the Mastery Pass, and I do not have that. Port. Okay, what we got here? We got Zada Hedron Grinder. Combo-rific, but only if you can get Zada the stick. This is dicey. We've got Giver and Skrelv, Reanimate, Thoughtseize, Abrade. I'm going to keep this off of the strength of all this. I think Arid Mesa always grabs something white. You can grab red-black off of Foothills. Oh, that's Ragavan. Damn. So here's the rub. I can go ahead and play Giver of Runes. And make them have removal. They almost definitely do have it. But this forces them to use it. Arcane Signet into swing. Yep, we'll take the trade. Having a swamp is pretty spicy. Zada probably comes down next turn, so let's go ahead, Thoughtseize, see what the play is. Just Krenko? You kept a hand off of just Krenko. I mean, like, Krenko's a great card, don't get me wrong, but this feels like flawed design. Alright, there's Sorin. This always grabs black, so let's go ahead and shock in Blood Crypt. We want to go Abrade, 3 damage. And then what? This is creatures from our graveyard. We can go Ragavan, but let's just go Ragavan. Ragavan can accelerate us. Yep, that's a banner. And no, I don't. So they kept their hand off of the strength of Ragavan plus Krenko and Signet. I don't normally have an issue with that. But I think if you're going up against a Mardu deck, you need to be hyper vigilant about the fact that they're very likely to have removal for either one or potentially both of these. And at the very, very least, you don't give them just like free removal by crashing the Ragavan in for a Giver of Runes. The Giver of Runes is really good at protecting Kalia, and if you're playing mono red, you're going to have a lot of bolt effects to get rid of Kalia. I don't think that trade is worth it, though. We'll try that again. I think if you are playing mono red and you see a Kalia player, you aggressively mulligan to find some sort of instant speed interaction to keep her from dropping something really, really big and game winning down. Zada tends to be not a storm deck, but it tends to be in that feather category of it wants to play a lot of cantrips. Urza Lord Protector. Alright, so like full out, this is blue-white control. This is going to be the blue-whiteiest control that ever controlled. And I think I have to mulligan this. All the Rain helps out some. Insatiable Avarice. There's a Cavern of Souls that might be worth holding on to this. And if we do, then we drop, I think, probably keep the Tyrant. Drop the Tyrant. Alright. Go ahead. What if Foothills? Actual Factual Stifle is in the format, so let's go ahead and crack this now. We've already got white, so we definitely need black. Well, Rakdos Theater. Rakdos joins up. It's a reanimation effect, but I don't think it's what we want against Urza specifically. It's very possible that maybe one of the things that I want to look into putting into Kalia is a I don't know, probably you could put in Grief. Grief is really good. Invasion of Gabaka. So we're gonna put this on Cleric, so that way our Reformer is unblockable. I'm gonna go ahead and play Rise of the Day first while they're tapped out, so that way Kalia has a chance to come in untapped or just to start swinging. Emery! Oh no, don't tell me that they're actually going for Paradox combo. Jesus. That's actually really, really, really bad. And Aegis is in there. So like, just... okay. We unfortunately don't have any removal to deal with this. I don't want to use the Avarice here. We could Reformer, but the Reformer just eats Aegis Assimilation. Like, that's actually really bad. Let's go ahead and just play the Gabakon, slow them down a bit. Motherfucker! Well, there's the Sunfall, and there's the Paradox Engine. So, we managed to shut down Paradox Engine for exactly one more turn. but now we have to have just some way to keep them from going off next turn. And they already have a land, so they can just, Christ. Is there any way out of this? 4, 5, 6, 7. They can't cast 3 steps ahead. Like they can, and it makes a token of Emery. I don't have any way of dealing with any of this. Like, the Sunfall is there. I think they don't have any way to like draw cards outside of the engine, so like it's not over, not completely. Go ahead, crack the Heath. We need what, white black. Go ahead and grab the Godless Shrine. Wikalia, Emery. They can just cast the Mishra's Bauble out. I could Nahiri. Oh. Whatever. Here's the Kalia. Kalia attacks. We drop. Alright. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna draft the dragon. Dragon's gonna shoot Emery. We're gonna pray that they don't have... Do they see the line? They might see the line. Yep. They saw the line. Okay. Yep. There's a land. There's Paradox Engine. They go ahead. They cast the Bauble. They get to untap all their mana. Yep. Okay. They get to cast Urza. Oh, wait. Hold on. No, shit. Fuck. God fucking damn it. I forgot it untaps Emery, too. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't think there's anything that we could have done that would have stopped that either. Because, like... Maybe the play there, actually... Hold on. Do I... I just thought of something. Maybe I need to... Might be a learning experience. I am not running Pajuka Bog. Oh. So, one of the things I just thought of was, okay, maybe it would have actually been correct to Insatiable Avarice on the previous turn, pay 3, grab a Pajuka Bog, put it on top on the next turn, play the Pajuka Bog, exile their graveyard so they can't just, like, fucking Emery loop. But then, it's like... yeah. I guess the Vexing Bauble is probably the only other way, but then they still could have Emery'd. C'est la vie. Okay, this is definitely harder to control. Sarkon, Victimize, Villas. If they Thoughtseize us and get rid of the Victimize, we're sad, but like we still have options. Okay, no Thoughtseize. Let's go ahead and... I'm playing blue. I'm going to take that risk on the tail's end. The alternative is actually just go ahead, crack the Scalding Tarn, except that we're not going to grab a Surveil land. We're just going to grab a Triumph instead, so that way our mana's a little smoother. Like, we're definitely lacking in interaction. That's... Oh, that is, like, way, way too many fucking high-level cards. We'll use Angel of Ruin to grab a Shockland, I think. Liliana! Well, getting her up and going is not a bad idea. What do we need? We need double red, right? They go ahead. They plus.
Happy to help. I'm tired of your secrets.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop Copper Dragon, I think. They gave up Inquisition for that. Okay. We can go ahead and drop the boost, potentially. Lily ticking up is not good for us, because now they could just leave up counter magic all day. Victimize, not ideal under these circumstances. Dropping Sarkon. Drop Villas. There's no Bray, that's not bad. We've dropped all of our heavy hitters, so if they reanimate, we are absolutely fucked. Let's go ahead and drop the Hearing then. What do they give up? They give up Inquisition. Got 3 cards left. Like, we're almost positively dropping Swift Boots. Boots could get countered. I'm gonna be very sad if their plan is to reanimate. But it is crime, so it's like, you know, kind of what's to be expected. But if I load up on the off chance of like drawing into a any of our 2-cost dragons, motherfucker, you took that, not Villas. What is wrong with you? Okay, Drana doesn't help here.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, we'll pick this up. We need it to be faster. No, I didn't have fun. They took my dragon. And I knew that that was a distinct possibility. But if we manage to just, like, spike literally any of our small creatures, then we're fine. I think one more Vicalia. Maybe what I need to do is just mulligan to a faster hand. Nah, I think they just happen to have Reanimate. Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief. The opponent goes first, and we have an Abrade to lead off. Grimstorm Raider, Invasion of Gabakan. This is going to be really, really tricky, but we do have some stuff to help us out here. Slitherblade. I think I'm using this to actually go ahead and grab... Words of Wisdom would say... Go ahead and grab the red-black one, since we're always grabbing that. Fleshdrain always grabs a white source. And Confluence off top. I'll keep that. Slitherblade by itself is, like, perfectly fine. And drawing the Edict helps out if we can go ahead and Abrade first. Alright, so this is Storm Tamer. Stable Passage. Okay, so... whatever I do. Okay. Shouldered Edict would be pretty great. I want to be able to get rid of Ivy targeted, but Storm Tamer has sack, counter target effector ability. That's really, really bad for me. There's just like no good way to do this. I like Edict in the bigger matchups. But unfortunately, when they go wide, Edict is just like not what you want to hit. Like I can Edict now. Honestly, they just happen to have a Storm Tamer here. But I think means we're supposed to play the Raider, just dig a little deeper. I'm gonna grow red. Alright, so we'll play the Raider. Raider doesn't do anything right this second. We can Invasion. Having another land isn't bad. We're kind of in a really awkward spot. Alright, so they do go ahead and grab this second basic. Means, yep, there's the green source. There's the lighted halfling. There's Mox Amber. Edict just gets worse and worse by the day. I'm just gonna go ahead and play Rise. I think at this point we are just like putting all our eggs into the emissary basket. We're gonna get fucking rocked this turn because they're gonna go Delighted Halfling. Yep, they're paid with the green. There's the blue for Ivy. And they have 3 mana. They probably want to hold up at least 1 for Storm Tamer. They're gonna try and redraw some cards here. Singularity, hey, thank you so much for stopping by. Rot Priest. Whenever a creature you control becomes a target of a spell, target opponent. Okay, well... Alright, at this point, we're just gonna Unga Bunga everything. If they have a counter for Kalia, then we're gonna scoop it up. No? Alright. There's... Creature. It might still have like a phase out effect, I guess. Instants are still the most relevant thing. Is that Ishgard's theme in the background? It is. If you look in the top right of our stream here, you'll see the Spotify credentials. But hey, good ear, good ear. All right, so they're gonna Snappy just to get more creatures out. If they have any sort of bounce spell for Sarah's Emissary, then we are in a world of pain. But they have to make us. But they have to make it bounce, and at that point they only have like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. That also does not work here because we can't be targeted by the Rot Priest. You've heard the theme so much. Okay, we got it. We got the win. Yeah, the Ishgard theme is fantastic. It's really, pun intended, chill. Okay, so it got a little dicey there. If they had even just a single wash away, then I don't think we're coming back from that. But hey, sometimes you just gotta, jam it and hope for the best. We lose games because they just happen to have a card that, wins the game. Same thing happens for us. That's Magic for you. You love the Ishgard Leitmotif. I'm glad you do. I do too. Leitmotif was where my wife and I bought our house before we ended up moving servers. Alright, so I think Kalia is fine. I think just from the games we played, there were some unfortunate circumstances, but nothing that I think is awful. The deck is more or less perfect as is. Okay, maybe perfect is a bit of a stretch. Actually, you know what? Weirdly, I've actually grown less good on Invasion of Gabakon. You already have Flare of Fortitude here. I think I'll cut the Invasion. Instead, what we're going to do is... this might be where we go ahead and put Grief. The alternative is that we go ahead and play... Actually, you know what? I like Grief, but I think this might actually be a Mox Amber deck. Because we're putting so much mana into trying to get Kalia out that we don't really have as much as what I would like to have to actually give her the boots with the fur. So having that extra little bit might end up being the linchpin. But other than that, not particularly unhappy with anything. Didn't really get a chance to play with Soren, but, you know, that's just more of a... You just finished Stormblood. Congratulations, you've got good times ahead. Let's see. We'll go ahead and... Let's see. Let's go ahead and visit Rith. Play some games here. Make sure everything's good here. This is another deck where I've already made like a lot of the changes that I want to run. Yeah, we ended up putting a couple more dragons in. I found room to put in Up the Beanstalk. A part of me wants to potentially cut Guardian Project just for Up the Beanstalk. I don't know that that's actually correct, though. Because part of what makes Guardian Project good is that it makes a lot of these smaller creatures cantrip. Especially late game, where you really need more cantrip, and Up the Beanstalk, even though it replaces itself and makes playing the commander a lot easier, just kind of has like a different way of going about it. So maybe it's just a go ahead and play both. Why not both scenario? We'll go ahead and we'll play a few games with Riff. Then I feel like the meat and potatoes of today's stream is just gonna be playing Zimona and Dina combo and also trying to get the Grotto to work. The best part of finishing an expansion is all the dungeons and raids. Honestly, yeah. That is just one of the best parts because you get to reach that expansion's endgame, and I think it's pretty great. We got turn 1 Pilgrim, Dracossaur, and Goldspan Dragon, but we're up against Atraxa, who is either going to be Toxic or Planeswalkers. If this is Planeswalkers, we're kind of really badly set up. I think we need something better than this. Oh, this is absolutely better than this. Okay, we can lead off on Fable Passage, go green, play Mountain, have Bolt up. Perfect. He's so much better. See, the mulligan is so powerful. Use the mulligan. When you know, it's one of the things I'm looking forward to running when I go back to playing Final Fantasy. I still have the Moore's account, and I haven't done any of the Coils of Bahamut stuff yet. Yet being the operative word. I did do Crystal Tower. Ah, you've got a Pilgrim. Well, funny that. I hope you weren't counting on that Pilgrim to do anything. Next turn, we're gonna go ahead and play the Rebels, because then we can play the Whelp. Whelp's gonna grab a Dork. Notably, I would love to play the Project, but we just need to get going. Like, we just don't have time to fuck around, and getting the Whelp down is gonna be game busters. Alright, never mind. Alright, well, I guess we are doing this now. This is always gonna grab red. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Stomping Ground. Alright, Copperati Rebels was the correct thing. You do not want me to have Copperati Rebels out. Copperati Rebels just, it grabs a free creature out of your deck. every time you cast a creature, and that's just not something like Atraxa is up to handle. All right, Atraxa's out. Well, fortunately, we have. We're always burning handsing Atraxa. She can't be allowed to stay out. Now we can go ahead, play the Whelp, draw a new card, attack in, pass the turn. All the dragons are now cheap. Oh my god. Each dragon in your hand perpetually costs one less. Sugoi. Heckin' Sugoi. If we draw one more, we can even play Riff. Just let the gravy train roll. Doubling seeds. Ah, fuck me. This is bad. This is really bad. If they just drop like a Dreadhorde General, and it's like, okay, there was literally nothing I could reasonably expect to do. So, all right, roulette time. Do you have it? Do you have an ultimate ending Planeswalker? Was I too slow on the draw? Survey says... Eh? Eh? No, survey says you're just playing Atraxa again. Huh. Well, see, that's interesting. Alright, so we can go ahead and cast Terror of the Peaks. But I think what I'm willing to do is... Yeah, let's just go ahead. Draconic Debut. There's 4. And then we can still cast... Wait, hold on, what? Each dragon in your hand perpetual... Oh, right, because Rith costs less from the next dragon spell creature you cast. Okay. So Rith currently costs 3. Mirari's Wake. How much setup do you need? Holy shit. I could cast Chandra. Oh, this is 4, 5... This is 9. Yeah, so if I were to go Terror of the Peak. Oh, Incinerator. Okay, go ahead. This is only to target creature. And then use that. See, becomes the target of a spell. Okay. Go ahead. Attack with everything. Damn it! That's not enough! Shit. Wait, hold on. Did I miss lethal? Did I miss lethal somehow? How did I miss lethal? Alright. All the creatures are exiled. That's not a surprise. But that's also not winning the game. They still have 7 mana left. We have Chandra next turn. Alright. That's Kiora, so this is Planeswalkers. Yep, okay. 6 more mana. Is it a Planeswalker that wins the game? Is it? How did I feel like the way that I missed lethal was weird. Also, hold on. Is this just like becomes the attacks or becomes the target of a spell? Right. Yeah, that's why I have 2 treasures. Okay. Alright, so that's Narset. Narset also does not win the game.
Present and with thoughtfulness before action.
And I don't think they're going to have a way to, like, instantly win. They might have removal. Alright, that's an Arcane Signet. Yep. Okay. Okay.
I'm Chandra. The immolation sends home. Looks like someone's getting a little sweaty.
Alright, do they have a way to gain life at instant speed? No? Okay. That was, So, this is why you don't want to just keep a hand of setup, even though it is very powerful to potentially, get all this going. You do just kind of, like, get punched to death and die if all you do is futz around, you know? Yeah. Like, Atraxa by herself will just constantly eat removal. I'm still wondering how I missed lethal there, because, like, I thought I had it.
I'm always happy to take your money.
Mint! Thank you so much for the subby! Hope you enjoy all the fun little emotes that we have on there. Let's see. Oh my god, I've only got like the 1 mastery orb. I just needed like... Just need 3,200 more gems. I can afford the mastery pass. Alright, so let's go ahead and play like another game with Burninator. Burninator is another deck that I got from... Let's see. I want to say I got it from Josh MTG's channel originally. It was actually a pretty solid shell. Just lots and lots of burn and removal. And like, even without some of the updates, the deck's still solid. Kuramax, the Rat King. Literally Relentless Rats deck. If I try and play against Relentless Rats, am I going to live long enough to actually play any of this stuff? I don't think so. I definitely don't if I keep this hand. This could work. The opponent's on the play too, so it's like, I don't want to go down to 5. Your least favorite thing in MTG is the poison mechanic. You know what? That's fair. A lot of players don't like the poison mechanic because it feels like it changes the game too much for them. The fact that it just cuts your life total to straight up 10. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people are in it for, like, you know, the longer games. At the same time, though, there are so many people that love poison because it does something that isn't usually... I'm going to keep this 6 here. I don't think the Thunder Break region is... Alright, so Elspeth conquers... Nothing on turn 1. That is great news for us. You're always grabbing... We're almost just going to see a rat next turn. I need a red-white. I need red-white. Lightning Bolt. Perfect. It still being Tana Commander is also kind of kind of hurts your joy the mechanic might have. You know what? That is also a very popular opinion. The idea that people just don't want to be you know what? I'm gonna hold that. I'm never playing a Narcomancer here. Alright, so they're just gonna run another rat colony. Alright, so let's go ahead, we'll bolt here. Even though Kuramax does give poison, they're not playing anything. You can go ahead and grab another Vale land. Grab Portico. Boseiju. Boseiju makes it so that way we at least hit that 4th land drop. It's also very dangerous to just like shock in the stomping ground, so I think I actually should have gone with Boseiju. Alright, so that's a rat colony. This is another issue with the rat colony deck, is that it makes the 3rd turn really awkward. Let's go ahead, we'll play up Boseiju. Go ahead, play out the Anarchomancer. Now we get a Revels. Alternatively, we could have played like the Opportunistic Dragon, but I want to see if they play like a Banner. I think the thing that you do want to like keep in mind if you're playing any sort of toxic deck in Commander, though. Yeah, I think we just aggressively block here. Oh, hey. Hey, would you look at that? This is Exile's mana value 3 or greater. Both of these rats are not 3 or greater. Toxic just tends to kill one person and then they become the arch enemy. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I think if you're playing Toxic or Poison in a multiplayer format, you're just kind of inherently taking that risk. So this is not going to work out the way you want it, friend. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Wrathful Red Dragon makes this so much easier because then we just keep aggressively trading thanks to the Revels, and they can't do anything. Yeah, Toxic is by virtue just another variation of the aggro deck. And aggro in multiplayer tends to be incredibly hard to pull off unless you're doing something like combo aggro, where you do like go to the Bandit Lord and you go infinite attack steps, sort of Feast and Famine, aggressive assault type of thing. Toxic is another way to try and make that work because you have so much less life to go through, and I think that's perfectly fine. Reading the card explains the card. I wish that was still true. I wish that was still true. There are so many mechanics in Magic right now that reference other things and just are not self-contained enough to actually hold on to them. Let's see. All right. So yeah, I think Rith is going to be just fine. The Cinder Cone Smite is actually just like a really, really nice piece of tech. It kind of fixes the pendulum for winning the die roll, because if the opponent's deck typically likes to go turn 1 Lammer Elf, turn 2 Cultivate, then you're already really behind. Shocking already kind of pulls that back, but then you're spending your first turn killing their elf rather than developing. And sometimes you're a deck that also wants to play like your own elf or your own pilgrim. But then the Cinder Cone, like giving you the treasure to just go straight into Mana Dork, is really good. Or even potentially Cultivate on the next turn still. You don't know too much about alchemy cards? Well, I'm glad you're here then, because alchemy is what we do. I mean, Brawl by its very nature is alchemy inclusive. Alright, speaking of alchemy, this is a deck I think we're going to end up tuning it up a little bit more than extra. It's one I've been struggling with more than I'd like to admit. It's built around the alchemy card Legion of Clay. Creatures you control have trample, and whenever one or more non-token artifacts you control enter, creatures you control perpetually get +1/+1. Now that perpetual means that the effect is not removed if the card changes zones. That's really cool with something like Lagrella, because every time an artifact comes in, she's going to get stronger, or whenever she blinks is going to get stronger. And then even when she exiles that creature, it still gets all those buffs. And there's some other really cool alchemy effects. Let's see, one of the things I wanted to do... double check how many artifacts we have. 25, that's like a quarter of the deck. That's perfectly reasonable. The fact that Ingenious Smith whiffed on like 4 top checks in a row the other night was a statistical outlier. Essentially, this is the classic Link artifact value deck, just with Lagrella as the helm. And I really like this with a lot of the prototype cards. That's basically what this deck came from. I think I need to get rid of Meteor Golem. Meteor Golem is a lot of mana. Something that's basically an acidic slime effect. I will take out the Meteor Golem. I will put in something like, I don't know, Glass Casket. The biggest issue that I've had with the Gorilla deck right now is that Blink decks are really dirtily. It's really easy to get into a play all the stuff for value and then kind of have trouble getting any sort of actual win condition set up. Just get infinite value all the time forever. Croxa. Black Red Scam. Croxa's not a bad one for this. Glass Casket's pretty good. Farewell helps out. We've got Snow Covered Island, Signet into Nadu. If we get Thought Seized, which is very likely, especially with the opponent going first, they probably take the Signet. We still have Casket and potentially Slow Play into Nadu. I think Nadu is strong enough that we can keep this hand on it. But then they might just, like, you know, Thought Seize the Nadu out. Oh, there's the Duress. So, like, you know, take your pick. Again, probably grabbing the Signet and forcing us to naturally draw into the green. Barrow is really, really good for us, though. Okay. Well, that's one. I'm also willing to, like, drop the Thunderhawk, the Treefold Thunderhawk, because we're not going to be anywhere near casting that. It's really, really good top end. Alright, so there's Croxa, and it's what? We lose 3 if we don't discard a land. I'll go ahead and drop the Thunderhawk. Ah, Psych Rift, Signet. Now, they could just upgrade the Signet, and I am really, 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 really sad. Drawing a second island as opposed to a forest also is not ideal, but this is a very, very fragile mulligan. Hello world. You know what? I think I'd do this anyway, because, like, worst case scenario, they remove Nadu from play. I still get to draw a card from it. Oh no, it's Bowmasters. Okay. Notably, Bowmasters does not trigger off of Nadu. Now, this is the nerfed version of Bowmasters on Arena in Alchemy. The nerf version that they have for Historic. So it does not have come into play, deal a damage in a mass Orc 1. It will only trigger off of us drawing cards. Which, hey, Interpack's Terror, -1/-1 point for each card in your hand. That's also a pretty good card. First things first. Go ahead. Play another forest. Go to combat. Attack with Nadu. We are now free to play the Grella. And then I'll go ahead and hit the Bowmasters and Nadu. Ooh, Guardian Project. Guardian Project is a great card as long as that Bowmaster stays off the board, which, hey, we have the Glass Casket, so shouldn't be too hard. It does get a little dicey if, you know, anything happens to the exiles a card from their hand. If this spell was cast in the graveyard, draw a card. I guess I'll exile this island. Like I said, scamming. 3 damage to target creature and opponent controls. Whenever one or more creatures die, mill a card, put a Blood Scouter, then sacrifice 5 or more. When you do, return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. Kill Lagrella. Not ideal, but we had the mana to recast her if need be. Alright, that's the Stainer back terror. That worth putting Cyclonic Rift back up? I think I'd prefer to like get rid of the Bowmasters, right? But I think I'm gonna bounce the terror actually. Okay. Now go ahead, Glass Casket. Get rid of that Bowmaster. Go ahead, here's the project. I am completely hellbent. Nadu's out here, gonna do Nadu things. We're definitely ahead in terms of like board presence. And that's enough. Okay. Whew. Scam decks and standard are so awful right now. Oof. Oof. I am sorry to hear that. I'm not really I don't really keep up with standard, so I wouldn't know. I'm aware of like Legacy and to a lesser extent Modern. So, you know, the Grief ban is still fresh in my mind. Ruthless Negotiations. I don't think this is a card you want to play when the opponent has enough cards in their hands to make a meaningful decision. I think this is much better as a you have one card left, so this card just always hits something. They had 5 cards and they need 5 for Croxa. Yeah, I don't think they got a very particularly great hand for this specific matchup. Bowmaster was going to go crazy with Guardian Pride. Nadu doesn't even say draw, it just says add to hand. You've never actually seen Nadu in a game because every group you play with preemptively bans him. Nadu is a terrifying, terrifying, terrifying card. Not because, like, it's inherently, like, scary. Actually, you know what? No, I wouldn't even call it terrifying. I would just say that it's a very, oh, God. Inducing card. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to imagine. I'm trying to think of what the word for that now. It's a very something along the lines of like apathy inducing. So I think Alchemy will nerf Nadu. I don't think so. At least not immediately. A lot of the cards that make Nadu insane aren't available in Historic, and Historic tends to be the basis for what sees bans and what does not. This is a fantastic hand. I will gladly use this. Mono blue Razalax, Illithid Scholar. So this plays a lot of really small evasive creatures and also some ninja stuff. Alright, they could stifle me and I would be sad. They do not. I am glad. Here's a breeding pool. Here's the Grazer. Sure. They countered my Grazer! What did my Grazer ever do to you, good sir? Alright. Malison. He has combination to a player. Can't be blocked alone as long as it's can't be blocked as long as it's attacking alone. Well, that's news to me. I don't want to play the Signet this turn. That's not necessarily like official. I could play the Steel Seeker and then attempt to play the Signet next turn. That might be what I need to do. I can also use the Cavernous Souls. I think I'm going to play the Thopterix this turn. The Thopterix, getting the Thopterix down means that they can't play their fairies. Ah, they're just going to Witness Protection it. Okay. Not putting the Signet out is also a little rough. And they're going to go straight for the Mad Mage. Okay. I'm in an awkward spot now. I think what I do is, let's go Cavern Souls, let's name Human. And let's free our legitimate business person. Now, they will have a chance to respond with, like, a Fading Hope or something. Bounce Ligrella to my hand. But more importantly, this frees the Thopter, makes the Thopter bigger. Mastermind's a pretty good card. Let's see. We were the second player. Yep, Mastermind to Grazlix, so they can cantrip. So now... Now what? Getting Guardian Project down is also, like, huge for us. Think. This needs to be on blue, I think. Blue or green... Yeah, let's go with green. Green. Untap. Ligrella can block Graxelix. I don't have a lot of other things to do. I can cast the Steel Seeker, try and get more value that way. The Guardian Project, if we play take a turn off, play the Guardian Project, we do just, like, get to draw more cards. This is one more, so they get to see, like, an extra card. I think I'm going to take a turn off to play the Guardian Project. Because now, if Ligrella blocks Grazelix and they trade, then I still get to draw off of the, re-enter. So they do get to see another card. We have to start being able to double spell, I think. Oh, they're going to Psych Rift. That's a Time Walk. That's really, really, really fucking bad for us. Ah! Pull the Mist Moon. How do we want to do this again? Pull the Mist Moon, exile. They have 2 cards in hand. It's very, very likely. I don't even have the mana to, like... Alright, so here's a Steel Seeker. They can't interact with this. They can, like, put it back to her hand with, like, anything else. Here's the Signet. They potentially counter the Signet. Because right now they're just winning on tempo. Teleportation Circle. Guess I leave that up. Pass the turn. There were like 3 articles saying Auto was mistaken to even get playtested. Yeah, because the development team doesn't get time to like do the work that they need to. Alright, so there's Filbotip. They get to draw a new card. I'm just gonna have to jam it. If this hits a counterspell, then I think this game's out of reach. It does not. Okay. So we can hit Mastermind. Hitting Grelix means that they have to, like, pay 5 to replay him. I think I have to hit the fairy. Because what I need instead of just like hitting their commander. Let's see, when this permit enters, exile. Guess I'll hit the teleportation circle. That basically turns this into an O-ring. Yep, and there's Brazen Borrower. Yep, I don't think we're winning this one, chat. We took too long to get our setup, and the counter on the Graze was just an insane play. Alright, so yeah, we have to block here, we have to block here. And, like, they don't care because they will bounce Fibblethip to their hand. They can also bounce Grazilax without any issue. We're at 9! And they probably just want to, like, hold up Brazen Borrower, too. Alright, so there's Command Tower. That's pretty cool. That's pretty pog. if I fare well here, what happens? They potentially negate it. And then we die on the... We don't necessarily die on the following turn. I think I'm jamming the teleportation circle. Alright. So... It hits them. We can do that. Hit the mastermind. They might even just have like a flicker spell protect their mastermind here. That would work. Okay, so burn. That's fine. No attacks. We bounce Lagrella. And now what we're going to do is exile the Yuan-Ti. And then also the... it's just the Yuan-Ti. I don't think we get to play... the blink game here. We need hats on hats. Roth's Edict Memory. No max hand size. Beginning of combat your turn. If you've drawn more than one card this turn, put X counters on target creature control. Beginning of combat. Alright. They're just gonna keep doing this song and dance, huh? Yep. Alright, at least exiling the Graxig does something now. So that's pretty cool. We can also, like, attack with the Thopteryx. That's pretty pog, not gonna lie. The Fairy Mastermind is a problem because it just means the Guardian Project is real. So... What now, nerd? Alright, here's our attempt to pull the moon. They play Brazen Borrower. No problem next turn. Alright, this time I'm going to hit Grelix. So they can go ahead and recast that if they want. I am... What's Thassa going to do for us? Thassa's going to, like, provide some slow blinking. I think I need to get the Guardian Project down. Yep, they're going to counter that. That sucks, but now they're not casting Brazen Borrower. I can blink the Signet. Trigger the Steel Seeker. Get another land for next turn. This is rough. This is incredibly rough. Like, we've stabilized somewhat, but we really, really got to pog off here. Like, I think I need to play Yorion specifically. So that way we have just another flyer. Not ideal. Alright. Hey, here's a thing. You can use this, get rid of Grazilax. And then if they spend mana to counter it, then Yorion comes down. Okay. Reveal it? Yes, please. Okay. Which one's going to be more impressive? Thassa or Yorion? Now if we do the Thassa, we have something to blink the Annex Sentry with. If we do the Yorion, then they counter our flyer. I'll go ahead and do Thassa. Yep, there's Counterspell. Okay, so we give up Counterspell, that's fine. Go ahead, blink out the Annex Sentry now. Go ahead, get the Mastermind. We're stabilizing. And Steel Seeker's doing a lot of work. Like, the Spectral Sailor? The Spectral Sailor. Fucking Spectral Sailor. Well. Alright, there's Filbert Tip. They draw a card. This is tight. This is really, really tight. Alright, we go ahead. We hit the fairy. They can bounce the fairy, and then they'll get to replay the fairy. I just need to get one more flyer out. Alright, so they're tapping out for Seer. I am A-okay with that. Okay, so... Notably, if we were to exile, like, all creatures right now, what would happen? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9? We can almost do that. Actually, I definitely want to blink out the teleportation circle. Yeah, if we blink out the teleportation circle, then teleportation circle comes in and gets to exile Rex again. I think that's pretty pog of us. We also get to blink out Pull the Moon. And then... I'm not playing anything else, right? So yeah, we'll just do it like that, I think. Alright, let's dig. Let's dig. Panharmonicon, that is not... That's a great card. That's not what we want. And we still can't profitably attack either. Alright, so this is gonna be Exile Rex. And this is going to be Exile... the Spectral Sailor? Alright, Steel Seeker's going to take a look at the top of our deck. You know what? It's free real estate, so why not? So the good news is, their commander costs a lot. Steaming Skyfish steals the Thopter from us. Well, that's not good. It means that we kind of want to give them back the Yonti Malison just to get back our Thopter. Having the Skydopter is also a pro. They have so many flyers, chat! Why do they have so many flyers? Alright. Okay. Hey. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we're able to start taking over this game now. We are actually really close to just like yanking them, huh? So how do we want to do this? We can still play Yorion. I think we're jamming Yorion. Yorion triggers. I'm gonna go ahead and hit up Pull the Moon and maybe Lagrella. Decline there. Got what? 3, 4, 5. No attacks. Pass. The teleportation circle actually has to like hit something feasible. I guess you can hit the signet then, just so we can like try and draw more land. Emery, do we have like anything in our graveyard worth hitting? Really? I guess she potentially draws a card next turn. Okay. Pull the moon. Get rid of the Yanti. Here's the Gold Forge. And also here is yeah. You potentially want to like blink off the Yorion to reset everything. But now they have 6 damage on the spot. They're gonna hit us for 3. Yep. Okay. Yarp, 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 yarp. Yep. That's all I can block. We're getting there. We're gonna have to start like going on the aggressive with the Gold Forge, because the Gold Forge just is a block, but we need the life. Stabilize. I'm trying to find a good time to play this farewell. Alright, they get to draw the card. See, this is kind of what I mean. The super grind out deck is a lot. Okay. Three. And they could still Brazen Borrower to like, I hate this. Alright, so here's Emery. Emery comes down. There's Path. Am I just cooked? Why would I play Emery before playing the Farewell? That's a good question. They only need is like 3 flyers. But if they... which they can get with the teleportation circle. You know what? Here's fucking Thunder Hulk. Like, they could bounce the pull of the moon here. Sun Titan. Oh my god, we got there! Okay! Okay, we got there. We got there. So, what I would probably do, honestly, is Brazen Borrower, bounce the teleportation circle to my hand during my second main phase. Or, like, yeah. Teleportation circle goes back to my hand. I don't get a chance to blink out. You've got 2 creatures. You can still chunk in for, like, at least 1. But then the Yorion blocks. Next, I guess then... But then you also get the Spectral Sailors. Like, you're getting at least 2. That shuts off my fetch land. I don't know. I think that was just very, very, very dicey. We managed to grind it out, which is the important thing. But gods, you just need to, like, windmill slam the win con sometime. Yeah, gentlemen, comments. Don't get you wrong, you feel for the people who essentially have to do all this stuff and then take the blame, aka the Magic developers. The problem is they don't seem to have enough people and have to release too much product. That is the nail on the head, as they say. And this is not a new problem, just one that's gotten a lot worse. Because even back in the pre-modern days, WotC very, very, very famously understaffs all of their set development. To the point where part of the reason why Urza Saga was so busted as a set was because there was almost no development team to speak of, and the developers that they did have, at least according to the Mark Rosewater Drive to Work podcast, were not on speaking terms because they were angry at each other. Like, holy fuck. In the article talking about Nadu being banned, they specifically brought up the fact that they have contractors that they sign up to work on these modern exclusive sets, because all of the internal stuff that they have is focused on exclusively on standard, and some of the like they do playtests for everything they do, but in order to actually playtest for a specific format and how a card is going to impact it, they bring in contractors for the extra sets, and it's just it is a massive, massive, massive problem. Part of why I've been sticking to Arena so much is because you get significantly less set release. Which, like, that sounds like a downside, being like, oh, you don't get all the other cool cards that you really want to play on digital. And I do understand that, and to some extent I agree. But at the exact same time, it's like, wow, I am so glad I don't have nearly as much set fatigue. Let's see, this is Venser, Corpse Puppet, Toxic, Lifelink. Whenever you proliferate, either make a 3/3 Golem or give your artifact creature flying and lifelink. Probably blue-black Toxic with some control. If we can stick the Synthesizer, this is a great hand. Otherwise, I am like super, super sus about it. If we can Portico grab an island, then the Synthesizer helps us dig deeper. That is not an island. Legion of Clay is also a win condition for us, so that's pretty pog. Cannoneer, also a win condition. Whenever we play another artifact, it gets a counter and then it can't be blocked. Also counts itself, but like, unless you have haste, it's not swinging that turn. Alright, top deck island FTW. That is really, really bad for us. Okay. Well, if we don't see it in this next draw, I'm inclined to say we scoop it up. We have Lagrella. Well, Path Fencer, attempting to slow them down just a wee bit. Alright, there's a Spell Pierce to protect Fencer. That's a tapped land, and yeah. This is on me for not mulliganing a little more aggressively. The Tree Line comes into play tapped, but this deck is so slow. So I do need to look into just like faster setup mana, I think, is probably the solution there. Tatyava Benthic Druid. This is a deck that we can't actually go long against. Most decks, if you just live long enough, you're okay. But specifically against Tatyava, that's a no-no. Like, we have to rely on Lagrella to hang up our hat here. Having a Kapacal helps. Potentially going into a Panamargana helps. Only having access to any 2 given colors any time makes this rough. The Glass Casket means that we can hit a Mana Dork, but they're very likely to use literally any sort of land ramp. I want to take the mulligan and see if I can find something a little faster. Okay, that works. Chamil is going to be a keystone here. Let's go ahead. Pay the 2. Pray they don't have a Stern Lecture. Nope. Take that landing. Play Island next turn. Yeah, go ahead. I would love to play Into the North here, but no, we're just gonna pass. And this is specifically so we can, yeah, slow them down. Teleportation Circle. That helps a wee mite. Let's go into the north. Grab a... Let's see, what do you have? Blue. So we need more green. Green, white even. And now we have Forsaken Crossroads. Put that on just hard green. Take the Scribe one. Confluence is done. No attacks. Pass. We'll jam the Chamel next turn if they decide to tap out. which if they're going for any sort of vegetative growth, Invasion of Zendikar type card, they will tap out for. Solve the equation. Grab Time Warp? Which would be incredibly problematic. No, grab Harrow. Okay. Alright, we're gonna jam the Chamel. Chamel resolves. Fantastic. Now we get to just go straight to town. And then we can even play Teleportation Circle. Start blinking out the Mender. Teleportation Circle, Thassa, either one of these works. The Teleportation Circle has the upside of, like, hitting artifacts. But we also need to race, so I feel like we actually drop the Thought Monitor so we can just, like, start getting the beatdown going. Okay, they're gonna Harrow aggressively. Which means that they have something they really, really, really want to get going. Yeah, I think it's a Thought Monitor, unless they go... No! Harrow's not gonna get there. Dropping the Thought Monitor does help us out, because then we can potentially draw into a Wash Away. That'd be pretty great. It's currently 5. Yeah. I don't think we have that much. Ah, I should have held up blue. I am a fool. I'm a fool. I know nothing. Glass Casket. We'll put that into our hand. Alright. You got Panharmonicon next turn too. This is going to be really, really tricky. If they go, like, Lotus Cobra into Tatyava, then start dropping lands to Mana Ramp. Kogla! Hit the monitor. Kogla is actually really, really, really good for them. Huh. Alright, so what I'm going to do... I'm actually going to play Cavern Souls. I'm going to name God. Wait, hold on. I could Lugrella here, right? I could, but then Kogla, like, just does even more stuff. Yeah, we'll just name God. We'll name God. We'll play Thassa. Thassa is now live. Thassa can tap down Kogla before Kogla attacks. Oh, wait, hold on. We didn't even have to do that. Because all of our spells are uncounterable anyway. I don't know why I felt like I had to do that. I could have put that in human and gotten so much more utility. Alright, pass the turn. Now we can even potentially, like, Panharmonicon next turn. Go ahead, activate, make Kogla tappy tap. Do you have, like, a Tamios? No? Perfect. I'm going to start using the Avacyn's Pilgrim. Alright. So here's that. Let's go ahead, go combat. I want to make sure that this deck is as insulated against River's Rebuke as possible, but holy shit. Whew. That was really, really, really spooky. Because we're missing so much interaction to stop Tatyava from going off, it would actually be really easy for them to go ahead and say, play Tatyava, go land drop, land drop, land drop, start refilling their hand. And they're almost at the point where they can go 4, 5, and then like 3 more on top of that. So like 2 more mana. They could even go... Yeah. 2 more mana. They could go Tatyava, Time Warp. And that's really bad. So getting the Chamil down is just really, really, really good. Yeah, I really should have set this on human. I completely forgot that this was already shutting off counter spells. Like, what am I doing? So here's another thing. The Uro does come out. We have the glass casket for that. If they play Tatyava, and then I just have like counter Tatyava, then Tatyava goes to graveyard, and they can actually use Tatyava as fuel for casting the Uro, which I think is pretty cool. Stable Stroke. Okay. So, what are we thinking about with regards to Lagrella so far? I think that Fabricate is a card that's on the guest list, and I do not have. We do have Fiddlebender. Fiddlebender to search out specific pieces is actually really cool. Also, just like much stronger than just not. More of invention. I'm thinking about like Chamil, right? Like you just get Chamil on board and then you protect Chamil. You would want a you would definitely want a Tamiyo's. Think. Transmutation font. Nah. Solemn Simulacrum is a good boy, but also it is slow. Maybe Fiddlebender is just a card that we want to have, especially since we don't have Fabricate yet. Fabricate would speed up the process quite a bit.
You just went boom.
Juicy Booty, thank you so much for the follow. Honestly, I think the deck is a little better now that I've made the changes since Outlaws of Thunder Junction came out. Nice deck. Thank you very much. Said with the same energy as going up to the pizza guy and being like, "Hey, nice." Yeah, I don't think there's anything in here that's like bad. I think there's just a lot of stuff where I go, okay, this is like a blink value engine, and I just had to play it like control. What's my favorite color? Depends on who you're asking. I like all 5 colors of Magic, but I definitely have a if you're asking just about singular colors, it's white. White is my favorite Magic because it has some of my favorite creature types, including angels. If you're asking about favorite color pairs, red-white is one of my favorite competitive colors, but I like playing a lot of blue-green for fun. Black is really good. I think green, in terms of like mono green, is my least played color. Yeah, mono green is my least played color. Pull the Moon did a lot of work in that match against Grezzel, so I'm happy there. And the fact they could potentially turn other creatures into Oblivion Marines is also really good. Your favorite color is red, along with red, white, and green for a really good Naya color combination. Respectable. Very, very, very respectable. I want more ramp. I want more, like, fast ramp. The mana drain helps out a lot, but I don't think there's, like, a lot I can really do. Like, I could probably play Power Stone. Just turn your brain off. Yeah, just turn your brain off. As long as you can count to 20, you're good. Reminds me of the time that a friend actually went through an entire tournament stoned. Absolutely high up in space. And he still reached day 2 because all he did was play mono red. It's fantastic. Is Synthesizer like too much? I don't think so. I think Synthesizer is actually part of what makes this good. We're not playing the Trophy Mage, but we definitely could be. The Trophy Mage would grab the Synthesizer. It'd also grab Mender. Annex Sentry helps out a lot. Doesn't grab any of our prototypes, but grabs Chrome Lanterns, so it's like not a zero fallacy. We're not really all up on the Synthesizer plan, although the Synthesizer plan is also really good. Maybe this just isn't a Synthesizer deck. Like, Brea is the Synthesizer deck. The Synthesizer also works as like an actual win condition. Like, this is a card that goes from 0 to 60 in 3.5. You remember playing against a mono blue player getting mad enough to the point where you got a winning Storm Off combo, slammed each card down for each point of damage? Wow, okay. Okay, I think that's the point where you just you take a deep breath and you go outside and you maybe give the grass a little bit of a waggle there. Like, full sympathies on how frustrating it can be to deal with control players, but you know. It's like 3. I'm out of grapes. Tell you what. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, I think the Satisfactory deck is good enough for now. Oh no, the guy was just being a complete asshole. Well then, lead off on that, brother. Lead off on that. If someone's being a jerk, like, you don't have to qualify with, oh, they were just being a control player. Like, damn, some of my best friends are control players and they don't act like that. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break just so I can wash my face. Wash my face, refill on snack. It's very important that your streamer have snack. And then when we come back, we're going to start tuning up the combo deck. Don't touch that dial. We will be right back.
Ice cold water.
Mint, thank you so much for the hydrate. That's exactly what we're going to do. Maddie, you have to be like the sturdiest woman ever. No! Oh my god! Someone clip that! I almost fell off the edge. Creatures we have in here, we've only got Burning Rune Demon and Emia. I'm probably gonna exile card. Oh, they got the 7, so they can play their Sinner's Judgment. Then they are through more counters. Wow. Okay. Bit of a miscalculation on my part. Bit of a very strong miscalculation on my part. Yeah, that's really all we can do. Damn. This card is obnoxious, especially when you're in mono black. I don't have too many answers for it either. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think they really care what they take. Let's see. That doesn't help. That doesn't help. Yeah, we're just gonna go for broke. Let's see. Remove X counters from target. X is the mana value of the exiled card. I mean, that technically works. But at that point, that's just going to be delaying the inevitable. We need like a hard answer. Phyllis would be a great hard to have, but it's like theoretically all we have to do is kill them before we get that third counter. There we go. That's what we want. Yep. No! Massive misplay! Oh, I forgot about the stupid mill. All right. We are back. So, if you're not familiar with this one, I've got some fun times ahead for you. Am I slashing my chair again? I have to take a look at it every time I come back. Yeah. Every time my camera needs to like reposition, I look like I'm sitting in mommy's chair playing professional. Every time, chat. Anyway. This is the Simone and Dina combo deck that I put together. I've got a video of gameplay on my YouTube channel where we managed to muddle through the combo itself. At the time, I was still like really trying to figure out the interactions. So, you know, you've been warned. Suboptimal gameplays and very long think-tanking ahead. Less the case this time because we have streamlined the deck now. But essentially what this is, it's just a 3-card combo with Simone and Dina, Bloodghast, and Intruder Alarm. So we play the Intruder Alarm, we have Simone and Dina on the field, we tap, sacrifice the Bloodghast, draw a land, put the land into play, Bloodghast comes back, triggers Intruder Alarm, untaps Simone and Dina, you can sack the Bloodghast again, and then rinse and repeat. Now, it's a very, very strong combo for just drawing a bunch of cards and turboing out lands, but that by itself is not enough to win the game. It's essentially a very strong engine. We do have some win cons for that, though. We have the Altar of the Brood, that is a win condition here. Meathook Massacre, also another win condition. This drains them every time that the Bloodghast goes away. The Altar of the Brood is going to mill them every time that both the gas...
05, we added 3 bits and 2 bonus bits to Francois's Power-Ups Redemption.
Wow! Okay, Twitch, way to hack my my text to slime. Yeah, but do be taking a break though. But hey, thank you for the bits, Fran. Thank you for the bits. But yeah, Meathook Massacre and Altar of the Brood are 2 of the main win conditions. You can actually combine that with the Scoot Swarm. Scoot Swarm is a really powerful engine here. Scoot Swarm by itself is not the win condition, but is a powerful enabler to be like, we can go ahead and massacre once we have critical mass Scoots, kill all the Scoots, and then hit them for all the life gain, or life drain. This is the nerf version of Massacre that does not gain life. Mill out with Altar of the Brood. We've also got Paradox Engine if we manage to get enough Mana Dorks out, so that way we can just keep casting stuff. We've got Yava to keep gas going. We've got Zendikar's Royal also to provide tokens. So we have some alternatives and stuff to just keep the combo flowing. And then yeah, we've got the Omniscience. We've got Liliana for draw. The only real problem that I think the deck was having originally was that Outlaws of Thunder Junction was a control-heavy meta. I'm fucking everywhere. And this being a combo deck means that it is very, very, very susceptible to control. Speaking of... if we just had one green source. We've got Tivar, Mystic, Zuza, Grove, Altar... back. Leading off on Delighted Halfling helps a lot. And then we already have our win condition there that we're not going to run out until we try and go for the win. Having to Scoot Swarm. Pretty cool. I guess. Every basic land type in addition to their other types? Mean that we can use the Mana Confluence without paying? Yep, there's Cavern. Frog comes down. This might be the first chance I get to actually see Glarb do something. That's kind of pog. I would love to be able to use the decisive deny. I think we just want to ramp. Like, okay, we got the Scoot. Got some Onandina. We even have Alter. Ideally, we draw one more land so we can play Zimone while holding up Decisive Denial. Because remember, Glarb by himself isn't going to win. Oh, we need to get rid of that Cobra like ASAP. If they get to untap with Cobra, they typically like to go into like a Harrow or an Invasion Zendikar style card. Yep, there's Inquisition, so there goes Scoot Swarm. They could decide to take the... No, they're just going to take the Scoot. Understandable. Have a nice day. Scoot, even just making basic tokens, feeds Simone and Dina too good. Let's see, he doesn't have Death Touch. I'm fine with taking the hits, as long as like we're not dead. Paradox Engine? Well, hot damn. Unfortunately, we don't have... Like, we have Decisive Denial. This is rough. I want to hold up Decisive Denial to counter whatever they do. At the same time... Yeah, I think I just have to, like, fight. Yeah, we'll fight there. Go ahead, we'll play out the Altar. Dryad's never blocking. You'll notice that in the YouTube video channel, I am much more interested with, like, just trying to power out the combo. Oh, Resco Clockmaker. That would actually be a pretty cool... Why didn't I add that? Alright, that's a land. Alright. Oh, I remember now. The Altar of the Brood is just gonna, like, factually power their deck at some point. Which is, you know, unfortunate, but it is what it is. Well, here's Simone and Dina. I can't do anything about that. If they want to fight, if they want to do the Fatal Push. And Rug we trust. Nuffle save me. Alright, now they can surveil too. They can start digging. That's really all I ever see Glarp used. Just a way to fix your top deck. Make sure you draw into gas. Maybe a reanimator target. Subtlety. Okay, yep. Not gonna use subtlety? Use up to target creature spell or planeswalker spell. Okay. We've got Paradox Engine. They have Hawk. I can Timeless get the Nile back. That's about all I can do. I need to just, like, dig. But they're almost definitely going to kill Simone and Dina this turn. Then I have to replay Simone and Dina. Yeah, they don't have to do anything on their turn. They can just do it on my turn. The general rule of thumb is that if your opponent has mana open and you have like instant speed interaction, you want to do it on their upkeep. So that way they have to tap out to use mana and they just don't go for free. Destroying the Dryad. Alright, well, we can at least sack the Dryad here to get some value back. Losing the Altar is not great. Oh, hey. They might have already figured out that we're trying to go for a combo win. In which case, I'm fine with Altar actually eating removal at this stage. Okay. So there's the Tarn. We are once again looking pretty hodgy-podgy. I can grab the Timeless Witness, grab the Scoot. That doesn't do anything. I guess it gets me more Scoots. We'll play the Timeless Witness. Memory lapse. Okay then. May just be a game where we ran out of gas. Got punched in the face too hard. We're gonna need like an amazing top deck to get out of this. We're still missing both Bloodghast and Intruder Alarm to really get popping. There's Tayava. Which means play a land, Hawk doubles it, draw 2 cards. Yep, can't stop that. Alright, we're at 7. Not impossible. If we hit like a final parting. 4, 5. And we're actually like still really placed. Okay. Here we want probably. Let's go ahead and grab our under. We're kind of like light on green too. Omniscience. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nowhere near Omniscience. Throw that away. Need something that's going to help us live. That's a Bird of Paradise. I could Paradox Engine. Paradox Engine doesn't do anything here. Cast the bird. We'll sack the bird. And if we fizzle out, we fizzled out. Well, that's Intruder Alarm. So hear me out here. The only way that I think we get out of this is if we can block Pock. Currently, we can do that with Halfling. I'm gonna play this Intruder Alarm. And pray to God they don't have another creature. Because Intruder Alarm is a card that could just as easily let my opponent combo off than not. But like, hey, as long as they don't have a creature in the top 3... Unfortunately, this does mean they didn't get like 2 draws. Alright, it does drain us down. This is solved. You get to draw another card. Okay. That's Heuristic Study. That's not a creature. That's Binding of the Old Gods. It blows up Intruder Alarm. Goodbye, Intruder. No, Zaman and Dina? Yeah, that's probably fair. Do I have, like, anything I can do? Oh, come on. What do you have to do during my upkeep? Alright, so that's Uro. I think that's it. Losing Zaman and Dina just kind of, like, put the nail in the coffin, I think. Because even if I play Uro... can't be... Nah, decline. We don't care about you drawing extra cards at this point. Like, okay, we get extra mana to play, halfling. Hot Yava is just too late. Yeah, that's it. Unfortunate. Didn't necessarily have like the greatest hand to start with, but losing the Scoot mob meant that we just didn't have gas for Zamonadina to start going off. It's kind of true regardless of whether it's an Inquisition or a kill spell, though. Clavileño! First of the Blessed. I think this is one of the commander cards, right? Yeah, it is. Whenever you attack, target attacking vampire that isn't a demon gains. When this creature dies, become a fucking 4/3 demon with... And they get the draw card.
Cold water.
Juicy, thank you so much for the hydrate redeem. This is a pretty easy throwback. This is... Let's see. With the Innkeeper, this might work out. You're kind of putting a lot of eggs in your basket, though. We have Harrow, we have Provisioner. Lead off with Shaman here. We've also got the Bitter Blossom, which means that we can actually just, like, block forever, theoretically. So I am going to go ahead and just jam that. Pass the turn. This is whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, it gets a counter. That might be worth using the Shaman to block. But this also has... Whenever you attack, target attacking creature that isn't a demon. Oh, that's actually really, really... Missing a land drop hurts so much. And no, we're not going to run out the... Roommate here. Now, notably, Clavileño needs these creatures to die. They usually have like a vampiric rights or something to intentionally trigger it. But they are just gonna keep vomiting out vampires, and now whenever any of their vampires die, they get a counter on each of their vampires. That is really, really, really bad for us. Parlamo del Presidio. Okay, I have to think about this now. Because if the ghoul dies, then everything gets pumped up. But then they also have just that to pump everything up anyway. Like, we're going to be relying on this Innkeeper really hard. Like, did you see that? Did you see that? That is so big. Oracle, that's not what I want. I kind of have to Harrow here, which is a problem. If I Harrow here, I get 2 lands. And then I get the Deathrite Shaman as well. I will grab... I will grab a swamp. As well as an island. I wish I could have done that with the Provisioner out. Really do. If I get the Provisioner out, this turn, I get to play treasures, but I think I need... Get Zamonadina online. If I have any shot at winning this. I don't think I am, though. Because everything's freaking huge. I can try and block forever if I can get Dreadhorde Genera out. But, like, that's upside. But here, with Bartholomew out, they can attack. One of these demons becomes a demon. Yeah, okay. Oh god. This is like awful because they can just like sacrifice everything. Libertarian Journal. And it's gonna make a flood. Well, that's technically a land. So, since we don't win otherwise, here's the Tyler's Provisioner. That gets us a little bit of life. We're gonna go ahead and make treasure because we need... Spelunking is interesting. Spelunking is interesting because it has the potential to turn it into rinse and repeat, get a bunch of lands out. I'm trying to think about what we need to do next turn though, and next turn is very much a probably play Orc the Alpha to block the flyer. We're not playing Dreadhorde General just yet, although Dreadhorde General is also a really big stabilizing factor for us. We don't have any other lands to put away though. So I think we have to junk this Spelunking and try and hit a land next turn. I would love to be able to use Zimone and Dina for value, but we're not gonna get. Like, they have really, really, really big beats right now. And having drawn a Liberator is also way too good for them. They go ahead, they swing in with everything. They can make Clavino the one. Oh god. So we go to blocks. We just always block onto Bartholomew, because he can sacrifice anything and everything. What? Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies? Okay. Or another creature dies, put a counter on each vampire you control. So we do it like that. Right now that's currently 10, 13. They sacrifice Drana. That goes up to 16. If they sacrifice another creature on top of that, I think that's what we have to do. We might have to like trade the Innkeeper as well. I think I have to be okay with trading the Innkeeper here. Okay, this is 6. Yeah, I think I just have to be okay with this. Because we need the Provisioner. Let's go ahead and sacrifice the token. If we manage to, like, I don't know, make another token somehow. This is unfortunately, they call my bad. We could potentially, like, fight, I guess. Yep, we're at 9. That is what it is. They've got Dreadhorde General. We just need more blockers. Yep. Like, if we can get 5 blockers out, right? At least 2 that fly. Then it's okay. Kind of. But we're losing our entire board to do that. This ain't good. We're just straight up not having a good time, bro. Grab a basic here, even though, like, really start on green. I don't think the food is gonna be what helps us out. Well, Deathrite Shaman makes mana now because of the Marsh Flats. Like, I can Dreadhorde General, make them sack 2 creatures. They can keep both of their flyers if I do that, though. I think I have to. I think I'm losing the Death by Shaman regardless. Okay, and then if I need to leave out 2 creatures, I guess I'm losing the Provisioner. Let's just go ahead and play Lily first. We'll see what we draw. I'll give up the Provisioner and the Shaman.
I require servants.
Or
Your
do
corpse
I?
will volunteer.
Virtue of Loyalty. Well, okay, we're gonna do this first. I think we always sacrifice the Shaman here. See if we can spike another treasure off the top.
Death.
No. Actually, hold on. Hit. I get treasure, resolve the treasure. Go ahead, pay the 3, counter that. Yeah, I just don't think we're getting through this unless we drop something insane.
Never hurt anyone.
Saxamon and Dina? Back the token? Like, they just have to leave 2 flyers out, right? Right. Trying to figure out what gives us the best percentage here. I think it's get rid of both Provisioner and Zamonandina. Unfortunate, but true. Like, unfortunately, this is what we knew was going to happen.
They were a lousy servant.
Oh god. We have 4 mana available to us. Absolutely nothing else. Yeah, no, best game. We tried to think our way out of it, but the heat came way too fucking fast. And missing that 3rd land drop definitely did not help. Can't even think off the top of my head what we could have drawn that would have gotten us there. Maybe if we'd played the Oracle first, then what we could have done is maybe hit a Time Walk, I guess. It's Sauron the Dark Lord. This is another really strong control deck. Maybe not as strong as Nicol Bolas, I think. But the fact that Sauron is just a win condition on its own makes it really difficult to play around. We have Cryptolith, right? Azusa, Tamio, Oracle. Not a Gamebuster hand. And definitely one that just kind of falls apart to the kind of control we're going to be up against. Lotus Cobra. Assemble the team. Reliquary Tower. This is another one that's really slow. Trying to think. What do I want specifically against the control deck? I want fast ramp. I want to be able to go Kami to the north. Sparks of Fate can be really good against Sauron because it gets around the ward. I think I'm going to get rid of the Great Henge back. And what we're going to try and do is just accelerate beyond what they can do. Dropping the Nicol Bolas, if they end up having any sort of reanimate to just drop Bolas out, that's going to be really bad for us. Go ahead, play out the Kami. Now we can go ahead and drop in the basic item. We have the potential to go Phyrexian Tower, Urtai. This is pretty nice. Into the north, accelerating would be really good too. Let's go combat. If they're just gonna like leave their mana untapped, then we don't want to run into the north into that. Unfortunately. Urtai has counter target spell. They draw a card. Destroy creature or planeswalker. They draw a card. So turn 3. That's typically when they want to go ahead and run something out. If not, then I'm a fool. And the acceleration that we worked so hard to set up just like gets completely shut down. At some point you need to start jamming stuff, especially if you're not hitting lands. The problem is then you're trading 1 for 1 and that feels awful. And I don't think we win unless we can resolve multiple spells, which is really a really bad position to be in against a control deck. You really kind of have to... Oh, that is a This is counter target spell. Alright, so they keep the draw. Okay. Now we can try doing some stuff. Now, into the north here is pretty pog. We can't use the tower. The Scoot Swarm is also, like, you know, less than ideal. But at least if we get the Scoot Swarm down and everything, then they have to answer it immediately. And it also makes the Phyrexian Tower better by virtue of, you know... Oh, there goes our prime time. Hey, what did I just say? Alright, let's just go straight to punchies. Currently have 5 mana, so yeah, go ahead, sack that token. Go ahead, play Zamon and Dina. Go ahead, into the north. This is really awkward. Because they are just... They're very likely to just tutor up a Wrath, Languish, ruin our day. But this forces him to grab a Wrath as opposed to grabbing a absurdly strong combo piece, I guess? I don't know. Like, we are actually just gonna fall apart here. Like, we can go ahead and replay Zamon and Dina. That's not an issue. But because their Wraths are like... They can get by with a Languish. And then still have mana open for Wash Away. Like, there's a tap land. Yep, there's Crux of Fate. Wipe out our creatures. Here's Reliquary Tower. Here's some Monadina again. Cruelty of Gix now hits prime time.
You just went boom.
Toya, say thank you so much for the follow. Like, I guess I can Psych Rift, get my primetime back. 3, 4, 5, 6. They know I have the Psych Rift. They know I have the Cyclonic. They get to grab... Oh, Cruel Ultimatum? Okay, yeah, no, fuck that shit. Ah! Like I said, the deck just falls apart against control, so... At some point, what we may need to think about is, anti-control measures. Like, I could very easily see putting in a Destiny Spinner. Ideally, our own counter magic also helps with that. The Destiny Spinner is a little more versatile in that our creatures are guaranteed to resolve, in that it also works on our enchantments, and that it's a static effect, meaning that we can actually tap out to stuff rather than needing to try and ramp out and have counter magic. So, Destiny Spinner can help there. You're not really looking at stuff like Thought Distortion. I think that Thought Distortion is really more for, like, if you really just want to be the beatdown. It'd probably also help if we had things like Tamiya. What I'm probably doing is relying too much on just having counter magic. Not that there's a lot in here to begin with. A lot of this is built around just like trying to get the combo going, like pure all-in combo. And at that point, you really want to just make sure that you have up. So what we're looking at is honestly probably getting a time. Actually, no, we already have Tamio safekeeping. Okay, so I am a very good streamer. So I'm gonna have to end up cutting the slower setup cards. Tamio is really cool because she can dig, but since we have actual like tutors, card that we probably end up cutting. Sky Turtle is a card that we include as a way to interact and also as a regrowth. But if I'm actually thinking about trying to get enough backup in here to keep our cards safe, we're looking at not just maybe 1 or 2 counter magic measures, but also hand attack. Looking at a Thoughtseize, looking at Duress. Prime Time. Why did I put Prime Time in here? Because Prime Time is a big boy that grabs Reliquary Tower. We're going to focus all in on the combo. That we want to be a little bit leaner. Liliana is here because she helps double up on triggers, on draw triggers. She is very good control to help set up. She's a very strong stabilizing force. So I think that's a card that you want to hold on to. I might need to say goodbye to Paradox Engine. Paradox Engine is here in part because Skyclave Shade helps enable it. Also because we have Cryptolith Right. So being able to go Paradox Engine, Cryptolith Right, pretty great. Nope. That's the alternative we don't want to go for, though. It's usually best with the Oracle. So, like, cut out the Oracle, cut out the Paradox Engine, go all in on Bloodghast and Tutor Alarm. In which case, the Royal is still good. You still want the Final Party as your main tutor. Crux of Fate, Extinction Event. Maybe put in, like, a Languish, which could be a good one there. Timeless Witness you want there because it's a regrow, but it's also a body to help re-trigger Intruder Alarm. Uro's still fine. I think Tivar is also still fine. Tivar being able to get back like any of the small creatures, get back a mana dork, but also just enabling a lot of the play cards and then tap out. Like I think we keep Tivar, and I think Cryptolith Right are still good in their own respects. The Paradox Engine very specifically requires cards that we're not actively looking to build around. The Skyclave Shade is like a backup option, but it's not nearly as good without the Paradox Engine. So if we want to keep the combo lean, that's the cost of business. Scoot, there's Nissa, Harrow, Dryad, Azusa. We have Dryad and Azusa for additional land drops, because when you're drawing a bunch of lands off of Zamonadina, sometimes you don't always want to put them into play. Sometimes you just want to make a regular land drop so it comes into play untapped, especially without a Spelunking. There's the Midnight Reaper. It's basically a small Lily, Psych Rift, Bitter Blossom. These are all cards that are very solid. Very good for a cat like me. Some of the team, also a tutor. 2 mana shorter than Spree, which is relevant. Regrowth. Innkeeper here was actually doing a decent job of like helping to keep us alive. Sequence. Yeah, I think if we just cut these clunkier cards, get a bit more protection and interaction, we'll be okay. Like, if we were to go ahead and say, like, put the Landward back in. I initially cut it for the Birds of Paradise because that's a very easy cut to make. Now we can go ahead and put in, like, an extra 1-drop. You could potentially look at... Are we getting, like, Damnation? Yeah, I think we're getting Damnation in the bonus sheet for Duskmourn, so that'll be really strong. In the meantime, we can go ahead and play a Languish. Just to, like, make sure we have the extra Wrath. Then for the last 3 spots, we probably want just like actual factual counter magic. Like not just wash away, but we also want Swan Song is really good for that. You can do an offer you can't pretty good. It's hard to use counterspell, but mana drain makes it worth. You just have to be really careful and kind of greedy about the mana that you're using. Mana drain is hard. It's a hard strain on 3-color mana base. But if you're seeing it in your opening hand, you're probably just gonna have to go like Triome, Fetch, or Shock. Guarantee that you have the blue. And then you know what? Yeah. And then we'll go ahead and get the deck a run. One more run before we call it a day. And then don't forget that next week, I'm going to be doing my State of the Brawl video where I go ahead and review what the season was like for us. That's going to be next Monday, same time. 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then we are going to be streaming on launch day. So that's going to be really good. Ooh, okay. Assemble the team in Crypto right. I think we can make this work. We're up against Xenagod, which makes this really, really scary. But if we can parlay that into like a Crypto threat. And we're even going to get a mana off of the fetch land too. So we might even go with Zavone and Dina to start with. Depends on if they decide to bolt the Shaman or not. Nope, that's Elvish Mystic. Okay. No, that's a fetch land for us. So if we go tap, exile your land. Go ahead, make blue. Here's Zavone and Dina. Now we have the flexibility to potentially go assemble the team into removal. I would love to be able to use assemble the team to grab Intruder Alarm. Although I guess Intruder Alarm also works with Crypto, right? Oh, that's a Latimery. This actual factual Latimery. Alright, I'm very likely going to have to use the fetch land to help make mana here. So let's just go ahead and see where we're at. Final Parting taught Yava Extinction Event. Don't want a Latimery like Henny. I don't like it. But this is what peak performance looks like. Into the north. We have Intruder Alarm. But we don't have the payoff. We have Final Parting. Alright. So, here's the rub. A Latimery can just, like, completely pop off. And that is a thing that I just have no control over. I'm gonna grab an island. And then what I'm going to do here is... eat this, get black, play Bitter Blossom. Oh wait, no, I should have played the Cryptolith right, because then they can tap for 5 and then we can tutor for Intruder Alarm. Fuck! I fucked that up. Alright. Okay, so lucky for us, they're just gonna go for Stomper. Good news is I can still write. Okay. Nothing yet. Okay, we're gonna be looking at some really, really spicy stuff here. I would love to play Cryptic first. Nissa. What does that even do for us? Yep, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and sack here. All right, well, we've got final parting going. So now we have to, like, live an extra turn, and that's not what I want. I can play the Sholdred. Final parting, put the ghast in. I had final parting last turn. I could have Intruder Alarmed this turn. Yeah. I'd be sitting with Intruder Alarm in my hand, Bloodghast in the graveyard. Now we have to deal with Aladamari just dropping in whatever he wants. I'm gonna cry if it's like a Kogla. Oh my god, it's literally a Kogla. Yep, so now they just fight Zamon and Dina. Yeah. Well, it wasn't gonna be pretty. Yeah. What can I say? I'm trying to think about what the line would be, knowing that they have a Kogla going into this turn. Like, okay, that's a Languish. That's pretty cool. That's still a Kogla. The tokens don't do anything anymore. I guess it doesn't get any worse, right? Right, okay. Alright, well, that's just unfortunate. Okay, well, I can play Shoulder next turn to try and stabilize while I figure something else out. Except now there's Xenagod. Xenagod can punch us for 14. Yeah. Feels rich. Like, the upside is that the Bitter Blossom will give us a blocker for... The downside is that any creature comes down and is also, like, applying mad pressure. Then think about the tempo. For the Gwenna... Oh, here's a land. That change anything? Kinda, not really. Well, here's hoping we get lucky, I guess. Because any third creature gets it for them, right? Because then Xenagod gives the brand new creature haste. Doubles the power there. My alarm's Nico-Kneeing at me. And we never actually used Sholdred. App for me. The fact that they're taking a bit is kind of encouraging, because if they just have like a third creature, like doing the ridgeline also doesn't really work. Is that just trades? If it's just Kogla and Yadaro, I'm willing to trade that with Sholdred. On the one hand, maybe. But I think Sholdred is just like such an important force for like potentially whittling down their health that we can't. I also think just slamming the final parting, grabbing the Intruder Alarm, putting Bloodghast in the graveyard, really important. Okay, weird. They must not have they must have disconnected. Yeah, I think they disconnected. getting Zamona is also like. But like at that point, we need Zamona and Dina. Let me put it this way: we're much more likely to double spell Zamona and Dina with True Alarm than it is to double spell Zamona and Dina with Final Party. So I think if we get the Final Party, well, that's not nothing. All right, let's go ahead and grab. Let's see, 3, 4. It's 4, 5. We have 5 mana available. Just don't mess around with it. Go Bloodghast and put a card into your hand. The other will go into your. Okay. Yep. Go ahead. Return Bloodghast. Pretty great. And then no attacks. Pass. The Polluted Delta would be great to turn into a green source. However, I'm currently operating under the theory that we may need it to get Bloodghast back at some point. I think the opponent's just completely disconnected. I think they're just completely disconnected. It's either they disconnected or Sholdred tilted them so hard that they just flew out of the stratosphere. Like, alright. This is in fact a red-green deck that should have like a ton more creatures to potentially throw at us. Yeah, so we're going to get the win for a game where I think by all rights, I potentially just misplayed too hard for us to win, but, you know, we'll take these. We'll take these. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and try some of these decks out on my own time. We ended up not having enough time to actually go and update Atraxa, but that was always going to be a bigger overhaul anyway. In the meantime, let's go ahead. How are we doing on Twitch audience? Reminded that on Friday we are going to be back with our Pokemon Nuzlocke. We're going to be doing the Elite Four on Friday, and then we'll be back on Monday with our State of Brawl. We'll be back on Tuesday following that, so that way we can actually play with some of these brand new tasty cards. And then if you wanted to see more of the decks and more of the VODs, those are available on Moxfield and on my YouTube channel under the live segment. Folks, we'll see you next time. Same hero time, same hero channel. Good night, everyone.